Greetings, this is Kal Kat, the Kal Katster, and I went to an early screening this morning. It's now 2. I went to an early screening of A Star is Born. Yes, the new Lady Gaga Bradley Cooper movie. Bradley Cooper from American Sniper and Silver Linings Playbook, and Lady Gaga from the Party Monster albums and all that. Back in the day, Lady Gaga, who was would do 8 years ago, would do all kinds of strange music videos in order to attract attention, and on the early versions of YouTube and stuff, and was even parodied by Weird Al and Sherry Vine and me, Kal Kat. In the same sentence. There was a character that looked kind of like Sherry Vine in this, but wasn't her. There was a character that looked like Kal Kat in this, but it wasn't me. Weird Al was not in it, I don't think. I did a spoof of Bad Romance. One of my first music videos on my Kal Kat channel was Bad Randomness, which there were other versions of Bad Randomness, but mine was a Lady Gaga parody. Party Monsters, yeah. And also I also played the other characters in it, like the Russian mobster and whatever, and the and the Eminem spoof character, Creech, and all that. Shubalava, they called him Shubalava, but he was Creech. And Silly Kelly, all those characters, Clint Capo. So anyway, the movie, Star is Born, getting rave reviews. The IMDb gave it 93%. Stone Gremlin's just a review of it. I'm not going to watch it yet. I'll do this instead. Star is Born is a soft reboot of the Judy Garland original and the Barbra Streisand one. It appears that I was thinking of the Barbra Streisand one, which would have been 1976 when I went to see this. I was 5 when that movie came out, but it was re-released, so I saw it when I was older, 5. But curiously, in this movie, there were some people that brought their children that were under 5, and they were seated next to me. One of them might have been 5, the other maybe 3. In a rated R movie, because apparently they couldn't get any babysitter, so they were sitting in the movie and having to cover their ears every time somebody swore and said the F word. I was like, this is a rated R movie. What are you doing? Okay. I mean, normally I'm okay with, with seeing rated R films, whatnot. But the idea that you bring your children to see it, just don't do that. They didn't ruin it or anything. They were behaved, but still, it's like don't do that. Find another movie for them to go and watch, because I'm sure if you're under 5, it wouldn't be too intense. You wouldn't get it, but you'd be bored and running around. Anyway, don't do that. So, but that doesn't make the movie any different here, more or less. Don't take your kids to see rated R movies. It makes them all messed up later on. Or at least traumatizes them a little bit. Nightmares. This movie, first impressions were, why didn't they cast Lady Gaga in Gem and the Holograms as Gem? Because this movie is what Gem and the Holograms should have been, at least parts of it, the singing parts. But I've been saying that since that cheesy Gem version came out. Should have been Madonna back in the day, but then. And also, why didn't they? And also, this movie is what La La Land was trying to imitate. La La Land was A Star is Born crossed with Star 80 and a little bit mainly Star is Born, a little bit of Funny Girl thrown in there, and this is clearly what they were going for. So, in effect, there was a version of Star is Born 2 years ago when that movie came out. However, this movie is original enough that it deserves the Oscar, because at this point there hasn't been, except for maybe Fahrenheit 11/9, an Oscar-worthy movie yet. So it's October. Oscars, get on it. Put Star is Born up there for Best Picture. This new one. Put Lady Gaga for Best Actress. It's hard to believe, but no, she actually is really good in this movie. And Bradley Cooper, Best Actor. Yeah, there you go. This movie is definitely Oscar worthy, and the Oscar buzz should be up there for drama and musical. So Best Picture so far. So I haven't seen Eighth Grade, the movie, so I don't know how good that was. There was an audience of about half the theater, so that's not good, because if it's not popular, it may not get an Oscar. But sometimes they release Oscar movies a week before the Oscars come out, and then they're like, or like, in January or something, and they say like, oh, look, late December it comes out, look, this movie's going to get the Oscar now. Okay, re-release it in December. And some movies get the Oscar that don't deserve the Oscar, but this one does. I don't think $1 Million Baby deserved the Oscar. No, maybe for the actress, but not the movie. I don't think English Patient did not deserve an Oscar for anything. No Country for Old Men did not deserve the Oscar for Best Picture. Maybe the actor, but not Best Picture. There's lots of movies that didn't deserve the Oscar. I was surprised that last year we got a fantasy movie, about the Loch Ness Monster, basically, as a winning movie. Because usually that doesn't happen. That was Lady in the Water. But this year we have a movie that isn't quirky. That's about Lady Gaga as a up and coming discovered starlet who was discovered at a drag bar. This cowboy guy walks in. He's like a singer, and he walks into the drag bar. And a lady that looks like Sherry Vine pops in and out throughout it, but it's not Sherry Vine. It's not her. It's just somebody that looks like her, him, I guess, in costume. Her, it's not him. No. But she's playing a woman, of course, in the movie. She's not gonna do the Victoria thing. Also Streisand. But no. So, it's Gem and the Holograms. Get on it, adult Gem and the Holograms movie. Anyways, so do it better this time. You got to do the songs. I keep going back to the Gem movie because this reminded me of it. Put Miley Cyrus as one of the misfits. There's your movie. Anyways. Hannah Montana was basically Gem as well. So, there you go. Gaga's the adult version of Gem. So this movie is not really for kids, though. It's rated R. It earns it. It's a drama. It's not meant to be fun. There are some fun songs in it, but it's not meant to be fun. It's not really like La La Land, which was crowd-pleasing. The story is similar in that he's like this hard luck case, down-and-out actor guy, or in this case, a singer, country singer. And she's an up-and-coming singer. That's the plot of The Star is Born, story from which all 4 of these movies were based. And this is not technically a sequel to the Streisand one or the Garland one, but it has elements of both. And I would say it's a soft reboot. It has the same premise. The guy's depressed, and so he drinks. He's got daddy issues, because his dad was a deadbeat and then left him, and his brother raised him. It's got all this other elements in there. It's got Gaga with who has nice parentage, who are Italians in this one, not Jewish as in the Streisand one. And the father guy keeps saying that he was like Sinatra when he was younger, and I'm trying to figure out what era the story takes place in. And I know my father used to say that, but he would be 93 if he was still around. So, in order for that to work, I don't think that actor in this movie was more than 70. So he wouldn't be talking about Sinatra. He might be a little bit, maybe, but Sinatra would be an old crooner at that point to him. He'd be like, no, Elvis Presley. He'd be like, it would like Elvis Presley when you were young. That should have been what he was saying, but they went by the script from the other one. So that's the only beef, and that's not really a beef. Sort of like if this is supposed to be timeless, okay, maybe it's not really supposed to be 2018. Maybe it's supposed to be like 2000 or something. But still, it kind of doesn't work in that respect. The ages, but the movie works. So yeah, the father guy throwing away the throwaway gag over and over again about Sinatra doesn't make sense if he's only in his 70s. He would not be referring to, oh, I was as good as Sinatra. He'd be referring to I'm as good as Elvis, or I'm as good as, somebody like that. Yeah, yeah, that would have made sense. Oh, but I was as good as Elvis, or I was as good. He could have said I was as good as Willie Nelson. He could have said I was as good as. There you go. Oh, or something like that. But I guess then they couldn't do that Italian shtick. So I understand why they did it. It's not really beef. It's just that the father guy was. He was like they were playing that he was really old. Then okay, fine, he was really old. But that was actually the father of the other guy, who was depressed and drinking. His father was it's a different guy. So a little confusing, but it works in the movie because that's not really what it's about. The movie's about the relationship between Gaga's character and Cooper's character, who are in the movie. They're acting the tar out of acting the shit out of the whole. They're like doing acting circles around like anything that the other movies. I would say it's probably Streisand played the movie a bit more comedic. I would say tragic comedic, whereas this one it's not comedic at all. It's just drama, which is fine. Keep the tone going and make it fine. The La La Land, which is kind of a cousin of this, was more of a comedy, more of a romantic comedy thing, in which Gosling and Emma Stone, although they're decent enough actresses, and they did get Oscars for it too, so it's an Oscar movie. She's no Lady Gaga. She just isn't. She just isn't. She might be around the same age, but she isn't. Lady Gaga is actually a better actress than Madonna was back in the day. Madonna, no, surely not. Yeah, Madonna was not a great actress. She was a good singer, but acting, she was fun, but it was Madonna. You knew it was Madonna. Here, Lady Gaga convinces you she's the character in the movie, and that's what you want from an acting gig for an Oscar. She convinced you she was the character in the movie, and you forgot it was Lady Gaga. That's the idea. Bradley Cooper's character played this so well. Kind of assumed that he was like a young version of one of the Baldwins or something, and you forgot that who that was too. He's doing the I'm a Western cowboy thing, Clint Cowboy type guy. I'm sure they were inspired by Clint Cowboy, of course, but not by other people. No, they weren't inspired by Clint Cowboy. They were inspired by that Chris Christopherson mainly, Willie Nelson a little bit. Oddly enough, Bradley Cooper had to learn how to play a guitar for this movie. True story. Yes, I read it on the IMDb. Yeah, so he was basically hunting and pecking, which even as a hunting and pecking person myself, I noticed. Okay, he's not really playing that guitar. Oh well, that's fine. But Lady Gaga was totally singing, and so was he. They were all singing. She's obviously isn't it? Yeah. So they have a scene at Saturday Night Live. They go to SNL. That's cool. Also, I just wanted to do that. Haven't played SNL yet. Always wanted to, even as a kid. I want to be on Saturday Night Live. I think all of my generation wanted to be on Saturday Night Live. And then they did the Grammys, and there's this embarrassing Grammy scene in which the husband goes up there and he's drunk. And he basically throws off the Emmys, and I think that has happened on occasion at the Emmys. Yeah, but people have done embarrassing things, including Lady Gaga, who dressed up really bizarre one year and freaked everyone out. And also, there is a curiosity of the movie, even though it's Oscar material. It's very good. Does the Grammys? Is it the Grammys? Did I say the Emmys? I meant the Grammys. Does the Grammys do country and western music, or is the Grammys just pop? I think it's just pop, and most of these songs were jazzy country bluegrass songs. They weren't pop. There was like one pop song, maybe two. Maybe she gets the Grammy for the pop song. All right, that's fine. But uh, but the country and western Grammys are different. They're like, yeah. Somebody posted in the comments. Yeah, that's different. Um, uh, so um, yeah, it's Oscar-worthy movie. The downhill spiral of the spoilers of the guy leads to bad things for him. There's a kind of an oily, snaky sort of record promoter guy. He's sort of a bad guy. I won't give away what happens. Let's just say downward spiral, and it's kind of that snaky guy's fault at the end. Um, I'll just say that. Even though they said, no, it's not your fault. No, it's actually his fault. That wasn't in the script of the play either, in the movie, the earlier movie. I think they did it differently. Although the part where they're going to have the bad thing happen, the little kids, you better hide the kid's eyes. See this part? It's dark. Fortunately, the bad thing that happened, they did it off. Okay. Couldn't actually see it. They didn't actually show it. That was fine then. Oh, I wasn't sure. Anyway, but although the lady that stepped out with the 2-year-old didn't get to see the ending, so she was out there with the 2-year-old, and her, I guess, sister or whatever came out and had to tell her how it ended. Yeah, is that so? Yeah, Lady Gaga. Lots of songs. There's like a dozen songs on here. It's kind of a song album thing. Now that old Lady Gaga song that Sparkle, or the Sap Productions girl, when she was a teenager, young teenager, did on the Kal Kat thing back in the day. That Lady Gaga song that she did when she was learning the piano. She's off doing some other famous thing. Just anyway, hopefully she's becoming famous, but not like this person in the movie. No. Anyway, so she did this. Been a long time since you're back in town. Been a long time. That Lady Gaga song, like this movie. Apparently, they've been kicking that around for some time. This script since at least 2011. They had originally had DiCaprio and Cruz and Beyonce and other people. They wanted to be in it. They got Dave Chappelle instead, and they got. And I can say that Tom Cruise wouldn't have been able to pull this off. No. He's done drama before, but no, he would not have been convincing. He could have had a cameo, but that would have been bad. And we're going to put Beyonce... No, Beyonce's fine, but no, she's not Lady Gaga. She just is not Lady Gaga. Okay. It's not an obsession. No. Party Monster. Yes, Party Monster. Yay! Little monsters, back in the day. But yes, but yeah, she's, but yeah, so like Beyonce, no, that wouldn't have worked. I'm glad they didn't do that. She's there, she's all right, but they put her in that Valerian movie, and that was no, not Beyonce. Just DiCaprio, not him either. Really, he would have been too campy. I think he would, or too obvious when the bad thing happens. It would have been like, okay, you can see this coming a mile away. Cooper's character, you don't see it coming a mile away. What happens? Don't want to give anything away. Because it's the crux of the movie. It's no spoilers. But yeah. So there's it is like the up and coming star and the one going down kind of thing. And there's Lady Gaga is totally convincing. I'm not just saying that because it was a Lady Gaga fan from 2010 or something. It's not that. It's that it works as a story. She's convincing as this actress in the movie, And that was kind of the trouble with La La Land, is you're not convinced for a minute that there's any chemistry between the two leads in that movie, Emma Stone and the other guy. She does okay, and she got an Oscar for it, but she wasn't as convincing. Gaga and this other guy pull this off, and it looks convincing. It's like, okay, I buy it. Their relationship is sort of weird, but then again, most actor relationships are in the movie, and I don't think they fell in love afterward or anything. But unlike the other two probably did. But yeah, but you get the idea from something like similar. I keep going back to La La Land. Is that La La Land was. You get the impression that they had no chemistry. They were trying really hard to force the chemistry, and you're like, at the end when they get back together in that movie, you're like, why would they get back together? Or, well, they wouldn't, so they set it up so the guy has a jazz club, and then he has this fantasy where he gets back together in his fantasy, and it was kind of like, why are they doing the sort of weird lost end, sideways ending, as he dreams about the fantasy thing? This movie handles that sort of sideways ending thing way better, and does it more like a Star is Born, the original. Yeah, so it's cool. So go out and see it, and yeah, in theaters. Won't give away anything. It's a good drama. La La Land is a good musical romantic comedy, I guess. This is a drama. Yeah, it's definitely R-rated, but mainly for the swearing. And those of you that are interested in any nude scenes that might happen, they're done actually very, very tasteful and practical, and you don't really see much. But that's okay, because, yeah, this is the girl that once wore a suit made from steaks, and then wore a metal suit once, and put on, like, and then wore a bizarre flesh suit. And she doesn't do that in this movie, but after all that, you probably don't really want to. But yeah, she's a little bit bizarre there, but yeah, she was always out of my league. But yeah, but yeah, so. But Weird Al's parody of Lady Gaga didn't work. I don't know why. He was saying, I wear funny clothes. That was a joke. Sherry Vine did it right. He did it as a spoof and took the comedy elements out of their element and made them more messed up. So Sherry Vine would make poop parodies and slut parodies and of other people's music and say like, see, I'm a media slut or whatever, or I'm into poop. And it would be gross, and it was funny because they wouldn't show it, but they'd imply it, and so Gaga actually kind of liked that guy, and commented on his drag queen performance, but yeah, because it was funny, but yeah, I didn't go that far. Mine was just about bad randomness, but there's other bad randomnesses, but mine was about specifically a spoof of bad romance. This movie is good romance, well, dark. I would not recommend that, though. However, that up-and-coming starlets marry an alcoholic who is depressed. I would not recommend that. They do handle the elements of the story in this movie, Star is Born, well. They also handle that well. They handle the character, the guy's drinks because he's depressed. They handle that well in the movie, and it works as in the film because they don't play it up and they don't force it as like an Oscar thing and have him have a speech or anything. It's just a guy messed up. He's messed up, and his chick is messed up for other reasons, and they get together because mutually like each other. And that actually works, as opposed to the perfection of the two characters that were in La La Land, where they were perfect already, or just nearly perfect. And then it was not convincing, because why would they ever get together? They have nothing to play off each other. Whereas in this one, and of course they couldn't at the end, whereas in this one, they play off each other because they need each other, which is more messed up, so yeah, more dark and dramatic. Best picture material. Star is Born. Yeah, so remake. The Streisand one is fine. The Garland one is a classic. Yeah, it often is confused with her other Streisand movies. I mentioned it to my mother on the way home, and she thought, "Is that the one where she's acting funny and doing that?" No, that's Funny Girl. Is that the one where? Oh, that's another one. That's a different one. What about? Was that the one with a girl where she's like trying to be a celebrity, but there's like a thing that's Star 80. It's another movie. Cape later. There was a remake of that recently. I did not see, but there was a remake of that one too. Star 80. I think that was Bo Derek back in the day, but no, that was not Streisand. Streisand was famous for I think Victor Victoria as well. A lot of stuff. The drag queens love her. Incidentally, okay, let's see the previews. Previews. I don't actually have it written on anything. I didn't do like Stone Gremlin. One of the previews is for the Queen movie. One of the previews is for the Elton John Rocket Man movie. Oddly enough, one of the other previews is for that new Neil Armstrong Man on the Moon space movie kind of thing where he goes to the moon. They give it away in the trailer. He goes to the moon. Anyway, but yeah, there was a horror movie too. There was a because they knew there was a connection, so they threw in Emma Stone in Favorite, spelled with it a British favorite. It's Favorite. It sounds like it's the Boleyn sisters again. It's kind of what it sounds like. So we've seen that movie before. They've done that several times in the past 18 years. I don't know why they keep doing that one over and over again, but it looks like it's the Boleyn sisters, which is fine, I guess. Let's see what else. And there's Emma Stone from Easy A and Lake Gaga. La La Land. Yes, if they ever do a remake of Gem and make it more hard-edged and a little more like 2020 era kind of Gem. Lady Gaga is Gem, and is the leaving Gem. Hires the new girl who's the Gem now. The new girl is Miley Cyrus. Do that movie. Yeah. And there's an up-and-coming one. Chloe Moretz is in there somewhere. Because, yeah. That would totally work. Yeah. It would work. Gem is supposed to be tall and lanky and sort of tallish, you know. Yeah, Gem. Kitty cat. There's a kitty cat. So, yeah, they won't. She probably read the script and said no. No, they're gonna do that. But yeah, so yeah, Star is Born remake, Oscar for first Oscar movie of the year. So we'll have to do a write up or something, maybe. I'll probably just summarize the movies from the last 2 months and just put that up because the summaries, I can do the videos better than the summary. Yeah, so there was some other preview. Oh, it was The Girl in the Spider's Web. It was like they're jumping to Girl in the Dragon Tattoo 3, I think, and not doing 2, which is The Girl That Caught Fire. They're jumping to 3 and have the original Swedish versions, which were like telemovies over there. So I have those. And yeah, so and the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, the Daniel Craig one from about 10 years ago. But it's like why are they jumping to the third one? It's weird. And they give it away in the trailer what's going on. Yeah. They made it look like a Bond action picture thing and there's an evil twin or something and ooh, the twist is this, it's the girl, and same thing with Smallfoot when they gave away the ending of the twist of the Lego Movie 2. It's the same idea. It's the same bad guy. The bad guy is a sibling. It's like, okay, you just gave it away. But yeah, in Lego Movie 2, it's the sister that's doing it. The only way that wouldn't be a twist is if they said in both movies it really wasn't. We were just like, wink. It wasn't really. However, Star is Born does not have an evil villain in it. Unless you count that jerky sort of British guy that actually kind of led to the catalyst to the end of the movie. And they didn't address it because they wanted to be edgy in Hollywood. Yeah, so, but yes, that's the way life is in Hollywood and the music industry. Yeah, they don't actually, because he didn't tell him, or didn't leave a note or anything. Yeah, anyway, so that's my review. So there's no evil sister in this. There's just an evil sister in the Spiderweb movie. And I guess Venom sucks, so I'm not going to go see it. I got such terrible reviews. It's down to like 27 on Rotten Tomatoes. Forget it. I'm not going to go see it. There's all these posters up for Venom everywhere. No, it's crap. I'm not going to review it. Anyway, go see Star is Born.